Okay, so for today's deep dive, we're looking at what feels like a ghost story.
Or maybe a resurrection story.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We're digging into the adaptive ledger, which is a big strategic analysis of Tezos from early 2026.
And his main argument is pretty aggressive.
It is. It basically says, while everyone was distracted by, meme coins and all the layer 2 chaos, Tezos just quietly built the perfect blockchain.
It's such a stark contrast, right?
Yeah.
You have this chain that retail pretty much wrote off years ago.
For sure.
But this report claims they've actually solved the blockchain trilemma with their whole Tezos X roadmap.
Let's get right into that technical part because, solving the trilemma is a phrase that makes my eyes glaze over usually.
Oh, absolutely.
But this shift to what they call a monolithic system, it actually seems to hold up.
It really does. It's a kind of hybrid model. So, you've got your monoliths like Solana doing everything on one layer.
Right, and then the modular stacks like Ethereum where it's all fragmented.
Exactly. But the Talon upgrade, which just happened, it does something totally different. The main layer 1 chain, it just stops trying to process every single transaction.
It becomes a Supreme Court. That's the analogy they use. It's just there for the final say for settlement and security.
And it pushes all the messy, fast stuff, the execution off, to these things called smart rollups.
So the report is saying block times are down to, 6 seconds on the main chain, but the rollups themselves are running sub-second.
And that speed is only possible because of one thing, the DAL, the data availability layer.
This is the secret weapon, isn't it?
It is the key. Because on Ethereum, rollups get so expensive since they have to cram their data onto the main chain's limited space.
It's like fighting for space on a crowded highway.
Yeah, but Tezos just built its own private, dedicated lane just for data. It's a game changer.
Which brings us to utility, because a perfect highway is totally useless if there are no cars on it. The report points to Etherlink as the big on-ramp.
Which is a really smart move. It's an EVM-compatible rollup.
So if you can code for Ethereum, you can just copy-paste your work over to Tezos.
Pretty much. But because of that DAL we were talking about, the fees are basically nothing, like less than a cent. They're calling it fast, fair, and free.
The gaming section really caught my eye, though. They talk about Reaper Actual and Uranium Miner.
Reaper Actual is the one to watch. It's a proper AAA shooter.
And the crypto part is invisible, right? That's the whole point. You're not, signing a transaction to reload your gun.
Exactly. You just play the game.
Yeah.
The asset ownership stuff just happens silently in the background. It removes all the friction.
Okay, but we have to talk about Uranium Miner. That one just sounds like a fever dream.
I know.
You're mining virtual shards that you can redeem for tokenized ownership of physical uranium.
It sounds completely nuts, but it's really a proof of concept for tokenizing real-world assets. It connects digital scarcity to, actual physical stuff.
And that strange reliability is why the institutions are still around. The banker's chain.
That's the nickname.
Yeah.
See the Generali's on there, using it for stablecoins, for green bonds. And the report makes a really crucial point here.
What's that?
Banks couldn't care less about hype. They care about legal certainty.
Because Tezos doesn't hard fork.
Exactly. A hard fork creates two competing versions of the truth. If you're a bank with $1 billion in bonds on a chain, which one is legally valid? It's a nightmare.
So Tezos' self-amending governance just avoids that whole mess.
Completely. They upgraded 3 times in the last 12 months. Rio, Sol, Talon, with 0 downtime. Competitors just can't do that.
Okay, so we've got elite tech, we have major banks using it, we have working games. But the disconnect, we have to talk about the price. The report has XTZ trading between 40 and 58 cents.
And that is the ghost chain risk.
It's brutal. You have this architecture that's arguably better than its competitors, but a valuation that's stuck 4 years in the past.
It's the classic tech company versus marketing company problem. The report frames Tezos as a massive arbitrage opportunity, a huge gap between its technical perfection and how the market sees it.
But the risk is that the market just stays irrational longer than the project can, stay relevant. So it leaves you with this question. If you build the perfect crash-proof highway but you miss the big hype cycle, do people eventually show up for the utility?
Or does it just become the world's most beautiful ghost town?
That is the gamble. What a fascinating look at the split between tech and perception. Thanks for breaking this down with us.